what have been some of the other challenges of doing a podcast? Like even just on a practical level, some things that people who might want to do something like this, it's like, hey, be warned that this is something that you will probably encounter.
But yeah, I would definitely say, at least for me, what I'm really trying to balance right now is the intentionality versus the cadence. The first season was really easy because I was building behind closed doors, so I was able to record the entire season and then release it like when I felt comfortable. And I had that cadence because it was all pre-batched. Whereas once you start, it is a lot to keep up with. This is a full-time job, and I'm sure you can speak to it. Like, this is truly a full-time job. It's not just showing up on a microphone. It is sourcing your guests. It's reaching out to your guests. It is handling your guest schedule also with yours. It is editing after. It's social media rollouts. And normally this is like...
I almost don't want to do it, and I
like,
do it.
Seriously, like, you know what I mean? And normally that's like, it's easily a 10-person team. Easily a 10-person team. And 9 times out of 10, you're doing it by yourself because, you know, we're paying our bills. We live in New York City, the most expensive city in America, let alone the world. So it really takes a lot of love and a lot of labor in order to do that. And I think you have to have your heart in it. There's a statistic that I think most podcasts don't make it past 7 episodes. And it's because you don't realize how hard it is. Like, it seems all fun and games. Like, you see all these podcasts all over social media and on the internet, but it really is a lot of work. But I think as long as you're prepared to do the work and you're also doing something that you truly believe in, you can be successful in it. But that second part is really important because you're not going to want to do the work if you don't truly believe in what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 that I hear about a lot because sponsors sometimes won't even talk to you, or even people who are just trying to like put you on a newsletter or, you know, a chart with new podcasts. But like, talk to us after you have 6 episodes. We're not gonna give you something with 2 episodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. So with that being said, it is a lot. Do you see this as something that's kind of just, you know, temporary or something near term, or do you always want to keep doing something like this?
Oh, absolutely. This is, like I said, I truly feel like this is something part of my purpose. So this is something that I see long term. This is something that ideally will be my full-time job.
Wow. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
That's
that
fire.
is
The goal.
I don't know how much you hear that because I think a lot of people just kind of passively do podcasting and content, and they don't realize that not only so much goes into it, but it's like, well, this is going to go through fluctuations of even how popular it is.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
And how effective it is. Like right now, do people listen to podcasts? They influence elections, but sometimes people just don't watch them at all. So are you going to ride through that?
Absolutely. And I think although it's very saturated, the world of podcasting is only just beginning. We just saw the deal happen with Spotify and Netflix where they're going to be streaming podcasts on their platforms. Only the beginning. And I think also as we continue to see content just take over, like the content platforms and space has just evolved so much. Like, it's become so democratized that there's only going to be more and more opportunities for it. And there's going to be, therefore, more money put into it. Because, again, like, I don't think we would have ever thought that Netflix would make a deal with Spotify to host podcasts. It is $1 billion industry and it's only growing.
Yeah, and I think with all the new technology, it's going to become easier for people like us who have the experience of doing the work, and it'll take the heavy lifting out, which is
hopefully.
That's
Fingers crossed.
That's
Fingers crossed.
That's the thing that holds us back. And then we'll be able to do it more freely. I've told people, I'm like, I could probably podcast every day if I just showed up and just like, hey, guest, random person, hey, person right there, like, do you want to talk really quick and like let's have a good conversation? I couldn't. I would do that.
I 100% agree. That's the goal. So we're working towards it.
One of my goals is to have like a random person, like I said, like that, totally random, come in and just like actually great conversation between 2 strangers, but on a long form scale. I like longer form podcasts, like 1.5 hours plus. I think that actually makes for really good, not bite size, but like chunk content.
I agree 100%. Like, you can't, If you do a 30-minute podcast, you're not going to get 5 or 6 or 7 great bite-sized pieces. Like, you have to have those long conversations and get deep in order to get to that one little piece that you're going to post on social that's going to go viral.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Duncan Trussell's show on Netflix?
I have not.
It's called Midnight something. But basically, it's his podcast, and they give a cartoon visual aid to it. And then it kind of tells a story through the conversation that you're seeing play out
Oh, I love that.
as a cartoon. And Duncan Trussell's podcasts are super deep. Like, the deepest conversation can probably go in terms of stretching the imagination. And
Oh, wow. I have to watch this.
yeah, you got to watch it. And it's, if you're into like visuals and anime and that sort of thing, it's crazy. It's really deep. But then it shows you that it's like, well, these long 2 to 3 hour podcasts are so telling. Like, they tell a story that you can make it into a 30-minute TV show, which goes to show with like the clip.
I might
sort
steal
of thing.
that idea. I'm not even going to lie.
Oh, yeah.
I might steal that idea. That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I think especially for my, like, the premise of my podcast as well, like, that could work so well in terms of like showing the hero's journey and all
Absolutely.
of that. Yeah. I might steal that. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, they go really off the rails with religious stuff and like Eastern tradition and Eastern religions and stuff like that. And it's crazy. But with yours, it would be like somebody really just telling their own story. And then you could piece it in with other parts that they may mention later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like visualizing this now. This is like
I
the
love
creatives
it.
in action.
I love it. No, for real. I mean, illustrations are so strong, and I think especially with like in today's day and age, how short the attention span is, like that could really go so far versus just watching two people sit down, talking back and forth. Like if you have that visual aid, I can really see that attracting more of an audience. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's more my type of content rather than sort of like live streaming. Like just, oh, I want to feel like I'm there with them. Or like the TikToks that are just kind of like you're passively there. I don't like that so much. It doesn't feel real.
I had to tap into a stream for work with Kai Sana, and it was like my first time like watching like a Twitch stream. I got anxiety. The way the chat is, like, you can't even read anything that is being said in the chat because it's like just like like it's just like going and going, and then you have like the things popping up on the screen, and then you're trying to watch them and like understand what's happening. It was a lot.
It's like a boatload of stimuli, like the chat,
too
the
much.
colors.
It's too much. But I mean, that's like the younger generation. And again, like, because they're being born into such a overstimulus environment between social media and all of like the AR and the VR, and you know, they don't touch grass the way we did. So.
No, they're in the other side of the portal. Like,
I know.
they're fully.
I know.
So what do you want, like, longer term outside of this sort of thing? Like, what do you want for fulfillment, or things you want to work on, or ways you want to impact people, or what you want to do a little further down the line?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I mentioned, I do see the podcast being my future, and the goal or the vision that I have for that is to really build it to a larger community. And I think people who've done a great job of this are Rashad Bilal and Troy Millings from Earn Your Leisure. They started as a podcast, and they've grown it to a conference that attracts thousands and thousands of people. They have implemented financial education within, I think it was actually like within the Bronx schooling systems, if I'm not mistaken, and they're bringing that larger. They've turned it into a book. Like, they have really built an amazing blueprint for what you can do with information and a platform. Another one is Amani Ellis of CultureCon. Love the community that she's built specifically for people of color and creatives, and really just like honestly building the community of spiritual entrepreneurs, for lack of a better word, to that size, and just realizing that, having them realize rather, that there are so many of us. And when you do put your religion and your faith and your spirituality at the forefront and at the core of your business, that is actually what makes it sustainable versus chasing a dollar.